The Tyrrhenian Sea is part of the Mediterranean Sea off the western coast of Italy. It is named after the Tyrrhenian people, identified with the Etruscans of Italy. The Tyrrhenian Sea is situated near where the African and Eurasian plates meet. Therefore, mountain chains and active volcanoes are found in its seabed. The maximum depth of the sea is 3,785 meters. The Harbour of Talamone, near the aquarium, our next step after birdwatching in the Orbetello Lagoon. A little lighthouse with a solar panel which absorbs the solar energy for generating electricity. Solar panel has specific advantages as an energy source. It generates no pollution and no greenhouse gas emissions, and it is made of silicon, which is largely available in the Earth's crust. Invertebrates in the Aquarium of Talamone. Sea anemone. Most species of these water-wet-dwelling predatory animals inhabit tropical reef, but there are species adapted to various environments. Sea anemones are benthic organisms. Some pelagic species float upside down in the water. Their body is column-shaped, and the oral disc is surrounded by tentacles armed with many cnidocytes, cells that are both defensive and offensive. Cnidocytes contain venom vesicles filled with a mix of toxins injected in the flesh of the aggressor or prey. Despite of their toxicity, many sea anemones form symbiotic relationships with the phytoplankton or fish, such as clownfish. Both sexual and asexual reproduction can occur. In sexual reproduction, males and females release sperm and eggs in water, where fertilization occurs. The fertilized egg develops into a planula, which settles and grows into a single polyp. Sea anemones can also reproduce asexually, by budding or in some cases by binary fission, when the polyp separates into two ovies. The global trade in marine ornamental for aquariums is rapidly expanding and threatens sea anemone populations because they grow and reproduce slowly. Obviously, it threatens also their symbiotic fish, restricted to specific host sea anemones. Crabs are found in all of the world's oceans, in fresh water and on land, particularly in tropical regions. They vary in size, are covered with a thick exoskeleton, and armed with a single pair of chelae claws. Crabs have complex behavior patterns. They can use their chelae to communicate by drumming or waving them for attracting a mate, to fight against other males and gain access to females, to dig burrows in sand or mud, to defend against intruders, and obviously, to catch prey or feeding on algae, fungi, and bacteria. And they have parental care behavior. The vast number of brachyrian crabs have internal fertilization and mate belly to belly. Females can store the sperm and use it after a long time to fertilize their eggs. The fertilized eggs are sticked to the female's abdomen and protected during embryonic development. The female releases, often timed with the tides, the newly hatched larvae into the water, where they become part of the zooplankton. The larva stages, the juvenile stage, and the adult growth are separated by molts. The molt cycle is coordinated by hormones, and molting is a difficult process that takes many hours. Most species of terrestrial crabs must migrate down to the ocean to release their larvae. After living as larvae in the ocean, the juveniles must do this migration in reverse. In many tropical areas, these migrations are very extensive and often result in considerable roadkill of migrating crabs. Habitats of starfish range from tropical coral reefs, rocky shores, tidal pools and mud and sand, to kelp forest and seagrass meadows, and from the intertidal zone to 3,000 meters in depth. Starfish can reproduce both sexually and asexually. The larvae have bilateral symmetry, but after metamorphosis, they have radial symmetry, typically pentameric. It has a central disc and 5 arms. The body is covered with overlapping plates and is brightly colored in various shades of red, orange, blue, gray, or brown. Most can regenerate damaged parts or lost arms, and they can shed arms as a means of defense. Several species have specialized feeding behaviors, including eversion of their stomachs. Starfish is a keystone species, ecologically important in the biodiversity of marine ecosystem. Without the starfish, which are top predators, mussels outcompete other organisms for space and resources, overwhelm the area, and threaten biodiversity. Starfish sometimes have negative effects on ecosystems. Outbreaks of crown of thorn starfish have caused damage to tropical coral reef. Starfish are vulnerable to high temperatures and sensitive to marine pollution. Indeed, they are a bioindicator for marine ecosystems. They are unlikely affected by ocean acidification, as severely as other marine animals with calcareous exoskeletons.